A few weeks ago, I made a video for the Rising Coffee event over in Swansea. And what you guys don't know, the direction that video took was completely by accident. What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're gonna talk about mistakes. Sometimes mistakes can have the best outcomes. Take me for an example. Just kidding. But for real, I wanna talk about mistakes that I've made as a photographer so far in the beginning, so that way other amateur photographers that are basically at the same level, or just starting out even before they're at my level right now of only being in about, a year or so they don't make those mistakes as well. And also how to utilize those mistakes to actually open up your creativity. My original plan, the whole plan for the video, was to basically get nice cinematic shots, panning shots, low angle shots of the cars coming in and out of the meet, and actually just, showcasing each car itself, and also showing some stills in that video. Almost like I did with my winter shoot before, showing where I'm at the location, also showing the pictures I got. But that plan completely got blown out. Because my mistake number one, I checked my memory card to see how much space that I actually had on it still, because I was shooting in 4K and I'm an overly cautious person, and I was trying to see how much space I had left, and I formatted the card. I lost an hour and a half of footage that I could never get back, and also all of the pictures I was taking of people's cars. I was networking, I was meeting people. I said, oh, let me get a couple pictures. Here's my business card. I lost it all. So that is definitely something I want you guys to keep in mind moving forward. Never try to check the memory card while you're on a shoot, because you may accidentally format the card. So that is why my video was completely by accident. My next steps after that were, oh my God, I just lost all of these stills and beautiful shots that I had of these cars, and I was basically running around like a nut trying to retrace my steps and find all the cars I had stills of. But that's the thing. Some of them already were leaving, some of them, had moved in different places, and they're not gonna get the original pictures. But I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? I just lost all my content essentially that I had for this video. What am I gonna do? So I started going and getting more videos a little bit. Walking around the parking lot, getting video of the cars I had before, finding new ones, getting people that were still rolling in, trying to actually still capture something to put a video together, because it was down the drain because of me trying to just check something halfway through, which I will never do again. So essentially, what I ended up doing was, I was like, okay, what can I do to make a video right now? What can I do? And that's what I want to have you guys think about right now, is how can you think outside the box? How can you make something out of a mistake? So what I did was, I was like, okay, I don't really have a lot of cinematic shots. A lot of the cars are already leaving. What am I gonna do? Oh, they're leaving. And I'm hearing the cars all launch down the street. And so I was like, there we go. There we go. I gotta go get flyby shots. That's gonna be beautiful. And I'm so glad. I'm almost grateful that happened, because I got some awesome content. And that whole other half of the video would not have been made if I didn't even make that mistake. So I'm almost glad the mistake happened, but it also kind of does suck, because I had some really, really banger shots of some cars that are just gone. On top of that, I was so mad because I had told people I was gonna send them pictures that I just don't have anymore, which seems unprofessional obviously from me trying to grow a business. So that is a big thing. But essentially, I go across the street, start taking flyby shots, and I'm so glad that I did that. I'm so glad, and that's off the cuff. That's on the whim. I wasn't even planning on doing flyby shots. My whole video was planned on staying on that other side of the parking lot and doing all that. My whole content plan was to do that. And this thing came out of nowhere and ended up pulling something together. So that's one of the biggest things I want to try to stress, is that in the beginning, when you make these mistakes, like I have, I know I'm a brand new photographer, but I want to tell you guys that mistakes will happen, but sometimes some things come out of that can be great, can be awesome. And that video did really well, and people loved those shots. I had numerous people from that show reaching out to me, asking me for the shots of their cars, and I was blown away, because it gave me a whole bunch of new subscribers, a bunch of new followers, gave me a whole new network of people that now know my content, because I decided to walk across the street and start taking video of cars flying by. And I got some amazing content with that. So people think that everything is planned, and most of the time it is. A lot of YouTubers, that I watch, they do actually write scripts ahead of time, and a lot of my videos are basically planned. I plan out the content ahead of time. It depends on what the actual content of the video is. But sometimes, perfect example, the best things can come out on the fly. And that's something that you guys would have never known unless I actually told you that video half of that video was completely done on the whim, and it shows you what you're actually capable of doing and actually puts you and gets you out of your comfort zone and start doing something different and unique that you haven't actually done before. So that is the number one tip, hint, whatever you want to call it. Have a memory card that you're not going to be worried about trying to fill, and try not to be overly cautious, because yeah, when you fill it, then you can just get another one. Don't check the memory card halfway through the shoot. Another mistake that I've made as a beginner photographer that I want other amateur and beginner photographers that are even, at earlier stages than I am right now, is to keep in mind, dump your memory card when you get home and make sure your content, and double check your content, is backed up. I've heard other creators talk about this, and I was like, yeah, okay, obviously you remember to back it up, like that's, that's a no-brainer. But I've been doing it for a long time, making sure that I've dumped it. But don't try to do things if you are half asleep. I had my memory card on my camera, I pulled it out, and I was actually deleting a bunch of stuff off my hard drive earlier in the day and moving things over onto my external hard drive. And I had was creating folders and moving folders and deleting things and emptying my trash to make space on my computer. And what I did is I was such in a sleepy, just, robot mode, that when I took my memory card out, plugged in the SD card, essentially put it on the computer, I dragged everything, I highlighted it, and I clicked Command Delete. And I yelled at my computer. I was like, no, 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 no. Remembering also, yeah, it's in the trash now. But that's the biggest thing, is if I had basically done that and was like, okay, empty trash, empty trash, empty trash mode, that would have been horrible, because I had the entire video for like the next week on that camera. Thumbnail, everything was there for that next video. I'm pretty sure it was the wheel reveal video. It happened a few weeks ago. And I would have lost everything that I cannot recreate, and just, that would have been devastating to me, because I was so excited to actually have that video. So yes, please dump your memory card onto your computer, make sure it's backed up before you delete stuff off your camera and format the card, or before you even empty your trash. Because that's the biggest thing, is like, if I'm moving things around, I have to double check, because like I have, my brain is basically elsewhere most of the time. I have to double check and triple check to make sure it's actually on the external hard drive before I delete videos off my computer, before I delete things off my camera, before I empty my trash. I double check, make sure everything actually cleared over perfectly, because yes, technology is great, but it's also sometimes glitchy. You never know. So definitely do not do it half asleep. Make sure that you're, somewhat awake when you're actually moving content around. I don't know what I was thinking, but that is a big tip for you guys as well, so that way you don't make this mistake and lose content. And the biggest mistake you could do is not like this video. If you did enjoy it and you got something out of it, it will mean a lot to me, and it will mean a lot to the channel to help me spread this message to other photographers and other amateur creators, to see if they are going to be making the same mistakes that I am. If you guys aren't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bells for more content, and I will see you guys in the next one.